Hello, friends. Today we are going to discuss yet another important topic in the field of food science. When it comes to food and nutrition science, there are the three big macronutrients, namely carbohydrate, proteins, and fats. When eaten in right ratios, these macronutrients can improve your weight, health, and overall physical well being. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about the third macronutrient that is fats. आज हम वसा के बारे में चर्चा करेंगे। वसा कार्बोहाइड्रेट प्रोटीन के साथ तीन मुख्य न्यूट्रिएंट्स में से एक है जो शरीर को ज़रूरी ऊर्जा एवं अन्य महत्वपूर्ण पदार्थ प्रदान करते हैं। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। Fat is present naturally in many foods. Examples of foods containing appreciable quantities of fat include meat, poultry, fish, dairy products, eggs, nuts, and seeds. Fats play a variety of role in both food preparation and nutrition. The basic use of fats and oils in cookery is to add richness and flavor to food and also act as a cooking medium to fry or cook food. They improve the texture of various preparations such as cakes, pastries, and biscuits. Fats and oils are found in plants, animals, and marine foods. They are organic compounds composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. They are insoluble in water but are easily soluble in organic solvents such as ether, chloroform, benzene, and acetone because of their chemical composition. Unlike carbohydrate, they contain a smaller proportion of oxygen and a larger proportion of hydrogen and carbon. They provide a much higher amount of energy to our body as compared to carbohydrates. फैट यानी वसा एक कार्बोनिक यौगिक है जो कार्बन, हाइड्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन से मिलकर बना है। ये तरल और ठोस दोनों ही रूप में पाया जाता है। वसा पानी में अघुलनशील है लेकिन ऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट्स जैसे ईथर और क्लोरोफॉर्म में ये आसानी से घुल जाता है। वसा हमारे शरीर को कार्बोस के मुकाबले कई ज़्यादा ऊर्जा प्रदान करता है। Now let us discuss about the classification of fats. आइए अब वसा के वर्गीकरण के बारे में चर्चा करते हैं। Classification of fats can be done on various parameters. The first category is classification based on origin, उत्पत्ति के आधार पर वर्गीकरण. When classifying fats based on origin, they can be categorized into categories, namely animal fats, marine oils, and vegetable oils. Animal fats are usually solid at room temperature and they include examples such as butter, lard, tallow, and suet. Marine oils include cod liver oil, shark liver oil, whale oil, and halibut oil. Vegetable oils are derived from vegetarian sources. Few of them are solid at room temperature. The example of solid vegetable oils are cocoa butter, coconut oil, vanaspati ghee, and palm oil. Those which are liquid at room temperature include groundnut oil, sesame and sunflower oil, rice bran oil, corn oil, mustard oil, olive oil, and cottonseed oil. The next parameter by which we are going to classify fats are classification based on degree of saturation. संतृप्ति पर आधारित वर्गीकरण. Fats and oils, also chemically known as lipids, are basically composed of two main components, number one glycerol and number two fatty acids. On the type of fatty acid present, they can be further classified into two main categories. Number one is saturated fats and number two is unsaturated fats. Saturated fats, also known as asantript vasa, have single bond present between the carbon atoms in the carbon chain, whereas unsaturated fats, also known as asantript vasa, have double bonds present between the carbon atoms in the carbon chain. Unsaturated fats can further be divided into monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. संतृप्त वसा स्वास्थ्य के लिए हानिकारक होता है। मीट और डेयरी पदार्थों में ये प्रमुख स्रोत होता है। Saturated fats are not considered healthy for our body and they are mainly present in animal food sources. They are also solid at room temperature. Unsaturated fats यानी असंतृप्त वसा हमारे शरीर के लिए काफ़ी फ़ायदेमंद माना जाता है। ये हमारे हृदय के स्वास्थ्य को भी काफ़ी मजबूत बनाता है और ये पेड़ पौधों से बनी खाने की चीज़ों में ज़्यादा पाया जाता है। इसलिए हमें इस बात का खास ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि हमारे खाने में असंतृप्त वसा यानी कि अनसैचुरेटेड फैट्स की मात्रा हमेशा ज़्यादा हो। Now let's discuss the nutritional importance of fats. Fats are concentrated sources of energy. They furnish about 2.25 times more energy as compared to proteins and carbohydrates. 1 gram of fats provide approximately 9 kilocalories of energy to our body. They reduce the bulk in our diet. They are an excellent source of fat-soluble vitamins, mainly A, D, E, and K. The consumption of fat as compared to other two macronutrients is low because they are expensive. When talking about the vitamins present, butter contains about 15,000 international units of vitamin A. They provide essential fatty acids, which are components of membranes of living cells in the human body. Fats are slow in leaving the stomach and hence they retard digestion. This delays the pangs of hunger, although there is no difference in the digestibility of different fats. The next topic which we are going to discuss is rancidity. Rancidity, also known as spoilage in fats, may occur on storage, particularly if the fats are rich in saturated fats and conditions of storage are conducive to chemical changes in fats. Development of any undesirable odor and flavor in fats and oils causes spoilage. It is mainly observed when fats and oils are stored untouched for a longer period of time. Rancidity usually develops in fats, oils, and food items such as fried snacks, cakes, cheeses, and salad dressings, which contain a high proportion of fats. Different fats and oils show varying degree of resistance to spoilage. Vegetable oils deteriorate slow, whereas animal fats deteriorate much faster. Rancidity is mainly of two types: hydrolytic rancidity and oxidative rancidity, which we are going to discuss now. The first type of rancidity is hydrolytic rancidity. Hydrolytic rancidity is brought about by the breakdown of triglyceride molecule to glycerol and free fatty acids by the presence of moisture in oil. The rate of hydrolysis is hastened by the presence of enzymes, mainly lipase, which is present in oils, which may not have been subjected to heat treatment and left untouched for a longer period of time. Microorganisms such as molds, yeast, and bacteria present in oils or which may enter as contaminants during processing may also be a leading cause of hydrolytic rancidity. The second type of rancidity is oxidative rancidity. This process is also known as autooxidation of fats. The spontaneous uptake of oxygen by unsaturated oils exposed to air is known as oxidative rancidity. It is the most common and important type of rancidity which results in production of rancid flavors and makes the oils unacceptable for human use. Moisture and impurities do not have any effect on oxidative rancidity as it was seen in hydrolytic rancidity. It is a chain reaction. Once It is a continuous process and cannot be reversed. Now let us discuss the factors leading to rancidity. The first factor is temperature. High storage temperature accelerates the development of rancid odor and flavors in fats and oils. The second factor is moisture. Presence of moisture in butter and oils bring about hydrolytic rancidity. The next factor is air. The amount of air in contact with fat or oil is an important factor in determining its shelf life. Autooxidation occurs in the presence of oxygen. Light is also an important known factor which causes rancidity in fats and oils. The next important factor which causes rancidity is metals. The presence of metals accelerates the development of rancidity. Metal contamination can occur from equipment used for extraction and refining of oil. The next factor which leads to rancidity is the degree of unsaturation. Oils containing high proportion of unsaturated fatty acids have a higher chances to get rancid and develop unacceptable odors and flavors. The last factor which can lead to rancidity is absence of antioxidants. The natural presence of antioxidants or addition to oils prevent rancidity. Antioxidants take up oxygen and gets oxidized, thereby preventing rancidity. But things are always not so bad. There are always steps of prevention which can be taken to delay or prevent the process of rancidity in fats and oils. Few steps for prevention which can be followed are as follows. Number 1, store fat at low temperature in a cool and dark place. Use airtight containers with minimum headspace. Keep away from strong smelly foods so that they don't acquire any unwanted odor. Use steel and aluminium containers for storage. Copper and iron containers can accelerate the process of rancidity since metals are one of the main factors which can lead to rancidity in fats and oils. Avoid undue exposure to light and air to prevent oxidative rancidity. Addition of antioxidants may delay rancidity. Natural antioxidants present in oil are vitamin E and lecithin. The next topic which we are going to discuss is the effect of heat on fats and oils. वसा और तेलों पर गर्मी का प्रभाव. During cooking or prolonged heating of fats and oils, certain changes can take place. The common changes which are seen are as follows. Number 1, there is an increase in free fatty acid content because of the breakdown of lipid molecule. The smoke point is lowered. The smoke point of an oil or fat is the temperature at which, under specific and defined conditions, an oil begins to produce continuous bluish smoke that becomes clearly visible. The iodine number decreases, the melting point falls, fat turns darker in color and gets polymerized. By polymerization of fat, we mean the lipid breakdown has taken place and free fatty acids are released. The polymers increases the viscosity of hot oil, the color darkens and quality deteriorates, which is then unhealthy for human use. Therefore, it is always advisable not to reuse the oil which has been already used for cooking processes such as frying or sauteing. Now let's talk about the processing of oils, वसा का प्रसंस्करण. The first step in processing of oils is extraction of fats and oils, which can be done by 3 methods. Number 1 is rendering. This method is mainly used for extracting animal fat from fatty tissue. The tissue from which fat is to be extracted is carefully removed from the animal body and chopped or minced. The second method is pressing. In this method, oil is extracted by application of high pressure to oil seeds or fruits rich in oil. The next method is solvent extraction. The crushed or flaked tissue is mixed along with solvent to extract oil. This method is used to extract the fat remaining in seed cake after pressing. After the process of extraction has been completed, either by rendering, pressing, or solvent extraction, the oil which has been extracted is known as crude oil or kacha tel. It may contain undesirable constituents such as gums, free fatty acids, etc. Crude oil needs several types of treatment to extend its shelf life and make it suitable and pure for use. Once the crude oil has been extracted, the process of refining oil begins. The first step is settling. The crushed solid part is allowed to settle down and removed by filtration. Next, degumming and neutralization is done. The gum and free fatty acids are removed by steam distillation. After that, bleaching is done to make the color more acceptable. This step removes undesirable coloring and flavoring contaminants. Oil is filtered through activated charcoal till it becomes lighter in color. The last step is steam deodorization. Steam is injected into hot oil under pressure to get rid of unwanted odor, and then it is cooled rapidly and is now good for use. The last topic which we are going to discuss is role of fat and oils in cookery. The first role is fat or oil is used as a medium of cooking. Fat is used in shallow and deep frying. Cooking oil is a better heat transfer medium than air or water, in that it heats up very quickly because of its greater specific heat, and its operating temperature of about 200 degrees Celsius is considerably higher than that of water. Pan frying is used to cook dosas, chapatis, omelets, cutlets, and tikkis, whereas deep fat frying method is used in preparation of puris, varas, cutlets, bhajia, and pakoras. The next role is fat helps in the process of leavening. In making cake, leavening occurs by incorporating air into the fat during the leavening process. When butter is heated in oven, the small air bubbles expand and fill with steam. The greater percentage of leavening in cake come from steam that collects in the tiny air bubbles rather than that from air itself. It also acts as a shortening agent. One of the most important functions of fat is to shorten bakery products which otherwise are solid masses firmly held together by strands of gluten. Being insoluble in water, fat interferes the hydration of gluten and cohesion of gluten strands during mixing, thus literally shortening them and making the product tender and soft. The next role is fat improves palatability. Fat gives taste and flavor to the food. Some fats like ghee is used at the table to improve the flavor and reduce pungency. Ghee and butter when used in recipe improves flavor. Butter is spread on bread to improve palatability. Fat is used to enrich sauces. When butter is applied to bread, the palatability is greatly improved. The last role which we are going to discuss is fat improves the quality of product. Fat greatly improves the keeping quality by reducing the moisture content as in fried foods. Fat can be used as a moisture repelling seal in fried foods and preserve the quality. In the end, I would like to say that fats are very vital for our body's complete physical growth and development. So please don't avoid fats from your diet completely in order to lose weight, as it may cause harmful effects later on. Thank you.